and gentlemen, and welcome to From the Balconies production of Much Ado About Nothing. Much like us, we have nothing to do. So my team and I have come up with a cracking good play for you. You will see versions of all the characters in different cuts. There's over 30 of us involved in this production. I know. There are alumni and friends and students and all of us had nothing better to do than entertain ourselves with sock puppets and stop motion animation and stuffed animals and all the things that you can only do when you're at home. I do hope you enjoy this ridiculously fun production of William Shakespeare's Much Ado About, well, nothing.
I learned in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina. He is very near by this. He wasn't but 3 leagues off when I left him. How many gentlemen have you lost in this action? But few of any sort, and none by the name. A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio. Much deserved on his part and equally remembered by Don Pedro, he hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of the lamb that feeds the lion. I pray you, is Signor Montanui returned from the wars or no? I know none of that name, lady. There is none in the army of any sort. What is it you ask for, niece? My cousin means Signor Benedict of Panduna. Oh, he's returned and as pleasant as he can ever be. He's set up his bills here in Messina and challenged Cupid for the fight, and my uncle's full reading the challenge subscribed for Cupid and challenged him at the bird bolt. I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all his killing. Faith, niece, you tax Senator Benedict too much, but he'll meet with you, I doubt it not. He hath done good service, lady, in these wars. You had musty victual and have helped to eat it. He is very valiant entrenchman. He hath an excellent stomach, and a good soldier too, lady. And a good soldier too, lady. But what is he to a lord? A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues. It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man, but for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal. You must not, sir, make mistake for my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never met, but there's a smirkish of wit between them. Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, four or five wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with one, so that if we have wit enough to keep himself warm, let him bear it for the difference between himself and his horse, for it is all the wealth that he hath left, to be known for a reasonable creature, who as a companion of now, he hath every month a new storm bother. Is possible.
Is it possible? Very easily possible. He wears his faith but as a fashion of his hat. It ever changes with the next block. I see, lady. The gentleman is not in your books. No, and he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young squire now that will make the voyage with him to the devil? He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio. Oh Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the plague, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio if he have caught the Benedict. It will cost him £1,000 to be cured. I will hold friends with you, lady. Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
Not till a hot January. Don Pedro is approached. Good Senor Leonardo, you are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of this world is to avoid caution. You encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides and happiness takes its leave.
You embraced your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter?
Her mother has many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict, no, for then you were a child.
You have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father. If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all of Messina, as like him as she is. I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you. What, my dear Lady Disdain? Are you yet living? Is it possible Disdain should die while she has such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you are in her presence. Then is courtesy a turncoat? But it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none. A dear happiness to women. They would have else been troubled with a wicked suitor. I thank God and my cold blood I am in your humor for that. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me. God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestined scratched face? Scratching could make it worse, and 'twere was the face such as yours were. Well, you are a rare parrot teacher. A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours. One more time. I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But keep your way. I, God's name, I have done.
That is the sum of all, Leonato. Signor Claudio, Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonato hath invited you all. I tell him that we shall stay here at the least a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart. If ye swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty. I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you. Please it, your grace. Lead on. Your hand, Leonato. We will go together. Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato? I noted her not, but I looked on her. Is she not a modest young lady? Do you question me as an honest man should do for my simple, true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom as being a professed tyrant to their sex? No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment. Why, in faith, methinks she is too low for a high praise, and too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome. And being no other but as she is, I do not like her. Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her. Would you buy her, that you inquire after her? Can the world buy such a jewel? Yeah, and a case to put it in. In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on. I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and she were not possessed with a fury, it exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you? I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife. Is it come to this? In faith, hath not the world one man, but he will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Go to, I faith, and thou wilt needs thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it, and sigh away into Sundays. Look, Don Pedro is returned to seek you. What secret hath held you here, that you follow not to Leonato's? I would your grace would constrain me to tell. I charge thee on thy allegiance. You hear, Count Claudio? I can be as secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so. But on my allegiance, I mark you this. On my allegiance. He is in love. With who? Now, that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter. If this were so, so were it uttered. Like the old tale, my lord. It is not so, nor 'twas it not so, but indeed, God forbid it should be so. If my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy. You speak this to fetch me in, my lord. By my troth, I speak my thought. And, in faith, my lord, I spoke mine. And, by my two faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine. That I love her, I feel. That she is worthy, I know. That I neither feel how she should be loved nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake. Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty, and never could maintain his part, but in the force of his will. That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks, but I will live a bachelor. I shall see thee, or I die, look pale with love, with anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood with love than I will get again with drinking. Pick out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid. Well, if ever thou dost fall from this faith, 'twill prove a notable argument. If I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat and shoot at me. And he that hits me, let him be clapped on the shoulder, and called Adam. Well, as time shall try, in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke. The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted, and in such great letters as they write here as good horse to hire, let them signify under my sign here you may see Benedict the married man. If this should ever happen, thou wouldst be horn mad. Nay, if Cupid have not spent all his quiver in Venus, thou wilt quake for this shortly. I look for an earthquake too, then. Well, you temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, repair to Leonato's, commend me to him and tell him I will not fail him at supper. For indeed he hath made great preparation. I have almost matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I leave you.
My liege, your highness, may now do me good. My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good. Hath Leonato any son, my lord? No child but Hero. She is his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio? Oh, my lord, when you went onward with this ended action, I looked upon her a soldier's eye, that liked but had a rougher task in name than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I'm returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant in their rooms. Come throngingly soft and delicate desires, all prompting me now, fair young Hero, is saying, I liked her ear, I went to wars. Thou wilt be like a love presently, and tire the hero with the book of words. If thou doesn't love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and her father. Was it not to this end that thou beginst to twist so fine a story? How sweetly do you minister to love, that none loves grief by his complexion, but least to my liking, might too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
How now, brother? Where is my cousin, your son? Hath he provided this music? He is very busy about it, but, brother, I can tell you strange news that you yet dream not of. Are they good? As the event stamps them, but they have a good cover. They show well outward. The prince and Count Claudio walking in a thick, pleached alley in mine orchard were thus much overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night in a dance. And, if he found her accordant, he meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break with you of it. Hath the fellow any wit you told this? A good sharp fellow. I will send for him and question him yourself. No, we will hold it as a dream till it appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter withal, that she may be the better prepared for an answer. If, peradventure this be true, go you and tell her of it.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There's no measure in the occasion that breeds. Therefore, the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jests.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath taken you newly to his grace. Where it is impossible you should take true root, but by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than be a rose in his grace. And let it not be denied, but I am a plain-dealing villain. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make full use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? What news, Brachio?
I came yonder from the great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonardo, and I can give intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief upon? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? Which way looks he?
Marion Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonardo.
Huh. A very forward-march chick. How came you to this?
Being entertained as a perfumer, I was smoking in a musty room. Comes me the prince and Claudio hand in hand inside conference. I went to me behind the arras and heard it there that upon the prince would woo Hero for himself, and after obtaining her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food for my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You're both sure and will assist me?
To the death, my lord. Let us to the great supper. Their cheer is the greater that I am subdued. Huh, were the cook were of my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper? I saw him not.
How tarly that gentleman looks. I can never see him, but I am heartburn after an hour.
He is of a very melancholy disposition. An excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedict. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other is too like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
Then half Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face. With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man would win any woman in the world if he could get her good will. By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd by thy tongue.
In faith, she's too blunt.
Too blunt is more than blunt. I shall lessen God's sending that way, for it is said, God sends a blunt cow short horns, but to a cow too blunt he sends none. So by being too blunt, God will send you no horns. Just, if he sends me no husband, for the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening, Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I'd rather lie in the woolen.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him? Dress him my apparel, and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore I will even take 6 pence, and lead his apes into hell. Well, then, go you into hell? No, but to the gate, and there will the devil meet me, like an old cuckold, with the horns on his head, and say, Get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. Here's no place for you maids. So deliver up my apes, and away to St. Peter, for the heavens. He shows me where the bachelors sit, and there live we as merry as the day is long.
No, but to the gate, and there will the devil meet me, like an old cuckold, with horns on his head, and say, Get you to heaven, Beatrice. Get you to heaven, there's no place for you maids. So deliver I my apes, and away to St. Peter for the heavens. He shows me where the bachelors sit, and there we live as merry as the day is long. Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your father. Yes, Faith. It is my cousin's duty to make polite and say, Father, as it pleases you. But yet, all of that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make him bow and say, Father, as it pleases me. Well, niece, I hope to one day see you fitted with a husband. Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. No, uncle, I'll none. Adam's son are my brethren. And truly, I hold it a sin to match to my kindred. Daughter, remember what I told you? If the prince do solicit you and not kind, you know your answer. The fault be in the music, cousin. If you be not wooed in good time, if the prince be too important, tell him there's a measure in everything, and so dance out the answer. Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly. Have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight. Revelers are entering, brother. Make good room. Lady, will you walk about with your friend? So you walk softly and look sweetly, and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away. With me in your company? I may say so, when I please. And when please you to say so? When I like your favor.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would I for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
Ah, I love you the better. The hearers may cry, Amen.
God match me with the good dancer.
Amen.
And God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words. The clerk has answered. Will you not tell me who told you so? No, you shall pardon me. Nor will you tell me who you are. No, not now. Ugh, that I was disdainful, and I had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales. Well, this was Signor Benedict that said so. What's he? Ugh, I'm sure you know him well enough. Not I, believe me. Oh, did he never make you laugh? I pray you, what is he? Why, he's the prince's jester, a very dull fool. His only gift is in devising impossible slanders, and the combination is not in his wit, but in his villainy. None but the libertines delight in him, for he both angers and pleases the men, so that they may laugh at him. I'm sure he's in the fleet. I would he had boarded me. Oh, when I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say. Ah, do. He'll break out a comparison or two on me, which preventure not marked or laughed at will strike him into melancholy. Then there's a partridge wing saved because the fool will eat no supper that night. Exeunt.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow her, and but one vision remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearings.
Are you not, Signor Benedict? You know me well. I am he. Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it. How know he loves her? I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too, and he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet. Thus answer I in the name of Benedict, but hear this ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so, the prince woes for himself. Friendship is constant in all things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent, for the beauty is a witch against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, Hero.
Count Claudio.
Yes, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow, about your own business county. What fashion will you wear the gland of? About the neck like the usher's chain, or under the arm like the lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your Hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Why, that's spoken like an honest drovier. So they sell bull. But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you leave me.
Ho ho! Now you strike like a blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your heart, and you'll beat the post.
It will not be. I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl! Now will he creep into sages. But that my lady, Beatrice, should know me, and not know me. The prince is fool. The prince is fool. Ha! It may be I go under that title because I'm married. Yeah, but so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base through bitter disposition and of Beatrice
that puts the world into her person and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I as I may.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now he will creep into the sedges, but that my lady Beatrice should know me, and not know me. The prince's fool? Ha! It may be I go under that title, because I am merry. Yea, but so I am adapt to do myself wrong. I am not reputed. It is the base, though bitter, disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person and so gives me out. Well, I will be revenged as I may. Now, Signer, where's the Count? Did you see him? Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fam. I have found him here, as lodge in Warren. I told him, I think I told him true, that your grace had got the good will of his young lady, and I offer him my company to a willow tree, whether to make a garland as be forsaken, or to bind him up, rod, as being worthy to whipped. To whipped? Was it his fault? The flat transgression of a schoolboy, who's being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion and steals it. Wilt thou make trust a transgression? The transgression is in the stealer, yet it had been not amiss. The rod had made, and the garland too. For the garland he may have worn himself, the rod might bestow on you, who I take it as have stolen his bird's nest. I will teach them to sing, and restore them to the owner, if their singing answer you. By my faith, you honestly say, Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she was much wronged by you. Oh, she amused me past the endurance of a block, an oak, but one with green leaf on it that would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life, and scold her with it. She told me, not thinking had been myself, that the prince jester, that I was duller than great thaw, huddling jest upon jest, with such impossible conveyance upon me, that I stood like a man with a mark, with my whole army shooting at me. She speaks poniards, with every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there's nowhere living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam had left him before he transgressed. She would have made Hercules have turned spit, yea, and have cleft his club to make fire too. I would God some scholar would conjure her, for certainly, while she is here, a man may live as quiet as in hell as in sanctuary, and people sin upon purpose, because they would go hither. So indeed this exquisite horror puration follows her. Look, here she comes. Will you grace my command and service to the world's end? Will I go on the slightest errand now with the antipodes that you can decise and send me on? I will fetch you toothpicker from now, the furthest inch of Asia, bring you the length of Pester John's foot, fetch you a hair off of the great cham's beard, do you any embassage to the Pigsby, rather than to hold these 3 words conference with the harpy. Have you no employment for me? None, but to desire your company. Oh, good sir, there is a dish I cannot love. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Oh God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue. Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict. Indeed, my lord, he lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry, once before he won it of me with false dice. Therefore your grace may well say I have lost it. You have put him down, lady, you have put him down. So would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom he sent me to seek. Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad? Not sad, my lord. How then, sick? Neither, my lord. The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil Count, civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion. Ay, faith, lady, I think your blazing to be true, though I'll be sworn if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her father, and his good will obtain. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy. Count, take up my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and in grace say amen to it. Speak, Count, 'tis your cue. Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you and dote upon the exchange. Speak, cousin, or if you cannot stop his mouth with a kiss, and let not him speak neither. In faith, lady, you have a merry heart. Yeah, my lord, I thank it, poor fool. It keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart. And so she doth, cousin. Good Lord for alliance. Thus go every one to the world but I, and I am sunburnt. I may sit in a corner and cry hey-ho for a husband. Lady Beatrice, I will get you one. I would rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace nearer a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands, if a maid could come by them. Will you have me, lady? No, my lord, unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter. Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you, for out of question you were born in a merry hour.
It is so, the Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonardo.
Yes, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicine to me. I am sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes worth his affection ranges evenly with mine. How can thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I am in favor of Margaret, the wanting gentleman to Hero.
I remember.
I can at any unseasonable instant of the night appoint her to look out her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison lies in you to temper. Go to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation do you mightily hold up to, a contaminated wench such as one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero and kill Leonardo. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them I will endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know Hero loves me. They would scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me call Margaret, Hero. Hear Margaret, turn me, Claudio. And bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. For the meantime, I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent, and there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty, that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all preparation overthrown.
Grow this to adverse issue it can. I will put it in practice. Be cunning in working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
I do much wonder that one man, saying how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man as Claudio, may I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain, wise or I'll none. Virtuous or I'll never cheapen her, fair or I'll never look on her. Mild or come not near me, noble or not I for an angel, of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color it please God. Ha! The prince and Monsieur Love. I will hide me in the arbor. Come, shall we hear this music? Yeah, my good lord, how still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony. See you where Benedict has hid himself. Oh, very well, my lord. Come hither, Leonardo. What was it you told me of today, that your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedict? Oh, aye, stalk on, the fowl sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man. No, wait. No, nor I neither. But most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behaviour seemed ever and abhor. Is't possible? Sits the wind in that corner? By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought. Maybe she doth, but counterfeit. Faith like enough. Oh God, counterfeit. There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it. Why, what effects of passion shows she? Bait the hook well, this fish will bite. What effects, my lord? She will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how. She did indeed. How now, pray you? You amaze me. I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection. I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedict. I should think this a goal, but that the white-bearded fellow speaks it. Knavery cannot sure hide himself in such a reverence. He hath taken the infection. Hold it up. Hath she made her affection known to Benedict? No, and she swears she never will. That's her torment. 'Tis true, indeed, so your daughter saith. Shall I, says she, that have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him that I love him? This says she now when she is beginning to write to him, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there will she sit in her smock till she have writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all. Now, you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of. Oh, when she had writ it, and was reading it over, she found Benedict and Beatrice between the page. Yes, that. Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he writ to me. Yea, though I love him, I should. Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience. She doth indeed, my daughter says so, and the ecstasy hath so much overborne her that my daughter is something afeard she would do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true. It were good that Benedict knew of it by some other, if she will not uncover it. To what end? He would make but a sport of it, and torment the poor lady worse. And he should. It were an alms to hang him. She's an excellent sweet lady, and, out of all suspicion, she is virtuous. And she is exceeding wise. In everything but in loving Benedict. Oh, my lord, wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body. We have 10 proofs to 1 that blood hath the victory. I am sorry for her, as I have just cause, being her uncle and her guardian. I would she had bestowed this dostage upon me. I would have daffed all other respects, and made her half myself. I pray you, tell Benedict of it, and hear what he will say. Were it good, think you? Hero thinks she will die. Hero thinks surely she will die, for she says she will die. If he love her not, and she will die ere she make her love known. And she will die if he woo her, rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crossness. She doth well. If she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible to scorn it, for the man, as know you all, hath a contemptible spirit. He is a very proper man. He hath indeed a good outward happiness. Before God, and in my mind, very wise. He doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit, and I take him to be valiant. As Hector, I assure you, in the managing of quarrels, you may say he is wise, for either he avoids them with great discretion, or undertakes them with a most Christian-like fear. If he do fear God, he must necessarily keep peace. If he break the peace, he ought to enter into quarrel with fear and trembling. And so will he do, for the man doth fear God, howsoever it seems not in him, by some large jests he will make. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go see Benedict and tell him of our love? Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel. Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first. Well, we will hear further of it by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedict well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself, to see how much he is worthy of so good a lady. My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If you do not dote her upon this, I will never trust my expectation. Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. The sport will be, when they hold one on opinion of another's dotage, and no such matter. That's the scene that I would see, which would be merely a dumb show. Let us send her to call her in to dinner. This can be no trick. They have the truth from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me. Why, they must be requited. I didn't ever think to marry. I must not seem proud. They are happy that their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth. I can bear them witness. And virtuous. 'Tis so. I cannot reprove it. And wise. But for loving me? But my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly. It will be horribly in love with her. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks in love in her. Against my will, I am sent to bid you to come in to dinner. Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains. Oh, I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If I had been painful, it would not have come. You take pleasure, then, in the message? Yeah, just so much as you may take upon a knife's point, and choke a doll withal. You have no stomach, signor. Fare you well. Ha! Against my will, I am sent to bid you to come in to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. That's as much to say. Any pains that I take for you is as easy as thanks. If I do not love of her, I am a villain. I will go get her picture.
No, not to be so hard and from all fashions as Beatrice is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore let Benedick, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling. Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say. No, rather I will go to Benedick and counsel him to fight against his passion. And truly, I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking. Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick. He is the only man of Italy, always excepted my dear Claudio. I pray you be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy, Signor Benedick, for shape, for bearing argument and valor, goes foremost in report through Italy. Indeed, he hath an excellent good name. His excellence did earn it, ere he had it. When are you married, madam? Why, every day, tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel, which is the best to furnish me tomorrow. She's limed, I warrant you. We have caught her, madam. If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some cupids kill with arrows, some with traps. What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride, adieu. No glory lies behind the back of such, and Benedick, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate, and then I go towards Aragon. I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that will be great.
A soil in the new gloss. If your marriage as to show a child.
After Sarah shines a new coat, I forget it for women. I'll only be bold, for better than his company.
For from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot, he is all mirth.
Gallant,
I am not as I have been.
I hope he the best.
Hang him, Trot! There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love if he be sad. He wants money.
I have a toothache. I say he's in love.
Indeed. Conclude. He is in love.
Hey, I know who loves him.
That would I know too. I warrant one that knows him not.
Yes.
And ill conditioned.
In spite of, I'll die for him.
She shall be buried with her face upwards.
Yes, this is not the shrine for the toothache. Old Senor, walk aside with me. I have 38 or 9
To you.
words that speak to you. We hobby horse is not here.
For my life to break with him about Beatrice. 'Tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice, and then the two bears will not bite one another when they meet. My lord and brother, God save you. Good then, brother. If your leisure served, I would speak with you. In private, if it please you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him. What's the matter? Means your lordship to be married tomorrow. Tomorrow. You know he does. I know not that when he knows what I know. If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it. You may think I love you not, for my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath helped to effect your ensuing marriage. Why, what's the matter? I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has been too long a-talking of the lady is disloyal. Who? Hero? Even she, Leonardo's hero, your hero, every man's hero. Disloyal? The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warrant. Go but with me tonight. You shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her. But it would better fit your honor to change your mind. May this be so. I will not think it. Wrong character. I will not think it. If dare not you trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly. If I see anything tonight why I should not marry her tomorrow in the congregation where I should wed, there I will shame her. And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I would join with thee to disgrace her. I will disparage her no farther till you are my witness. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself. O day untowardly turned! O mischief strangely thwarting! O plague right well prevented! So you will say when you have seen the sequel.
Are you good men and true? Yeah. Or else it were pity but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
That were a punishment too good for them, if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrant men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
But how if he will not stand?
Take no note of him, but let him go, and presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of the knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, then he is none of the prince's subjects.
And they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You shall make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured. We will rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch. Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should not offend. Only have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you are to call at all the alehouses and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
And how if they will not?
So they are sober. If they make you not, then the better answer. You may say they are not the men you took them for. Well, sir, expect him by virtue of your office to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why, the more is for your honesty. Him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him? Truly by your office you may think, but I think that they touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company. You have been always called a merciful man, partner. I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him. If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still.
How if the nurse is asleep and cannot hear us?
Why, then, depart in peace and let the child wake her with crying. For the ewe that will not hear her, lamb when it bays will never answer a calf when he bleats. 'Tis very true. This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him. Nay, by Our Lady, that I think I cannot. 5 shillings to 1 on't with any man that knows the statutes. He may stay him, marry not without the prince be willing, for indeed the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offence to stay a man against his will. By Our Lady, I think it be so. Ha, ha, ha. Well, masters, good night, and there be any matter of weight, chances, call me up. Keep your fellows' counsels, and your own, and good night. Come, neighbor. Masters, we hear our charge. Let us sit here upon the church bench until 2, and then all to bed. One word more, honest neighbors. Pray you watch about Signor Leonato's door, for the wedding be there tomorrow. There's a great coil tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant, I beseech you.
What, Conrad? Peace, stir not. Conrad, I say. Here, man, I am at thy elbow. Mass, at my elbow itched, I thought there would be a scab follow. I will owe thee an answer for that. And now, forward with thy tale. Stand thee close, then under these penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, uttered all to thee. Stand, treason's masters, yet stand close. Therefore I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducks. Is it possible that any villainy shall be so dear? Thou shalt rather ask if it were possible any villainy shall be so rich, for what villains they have need poor ones may make what price they will. I know that deformed he had been vile thief this 7 years. He goes up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name. Didst thou not hear somebody? No, 'twas the vein on his house. Here's my tale. I know that I have tonight with Margaret and Lady Hero's gentlewoman by the name of Hero. She leans me out all mistress's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I'll tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the prince, Claudio, my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master John, saw afar off in the orchard in this amiable encounter. And they thought Margaret was Hero? 2 of them did. The prince and Claudio, but the devil my master knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths which first possessed them, partly by the dark night which he did deceive, but chiefly by my villainy which did confirm any slander that John Donne made. Anyway, went Claudio enraged, swore he would meet her, and he was appointed next morning at my temple, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw overnight, and sent her home again without a husband. We charge you in the prince name, stand. Call up the right master's constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that have ever known to the commonwealth. And one deformed is one of them. I know him. He wears a lock. Masters, you may bring deformed forth, I want you. Masters, never speak. We charge let you obey us go. We are like to prove godly community being taken up on these men's bills. A community in question, I want you, come, we'll obey you.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise. Ooh, I will, lady. And bid her to come hither. Good morrow, cuz. Good morrow, sweet hero. Why, how now do you speak in that sick tone? 'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis is time you were ready. By my troth, I am exceeding ill. Hi ho! For a hawk, a horse, or a husband. Ha ha ha. For the letter that begins with all A's. These gloves the count sent me, they are in excellent perfume. I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell. A maid and stuff? There's a goodly catching of a cold. Help me, oh help me, God. How long have you professed apprehension? Even since you left it down, now my wits became me rarely. No, it's not thin enough. You should wear it in your cap. By my troth, I am thick. Get you some of this distilled cardust, Benedictus. Lay it in your heart. It is the only thing for a clone. Thee thou prickest her with a thistle. Benedict? Why Benedict? You have some more on this Benedict. Moral? No, by my troth I have no moral meaning. I meant play holy thrice. You may think perchance that I think you are in love. Yet Benedict was such another, and now he became a man he swore he would never marry, and yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging, and how you may be covered I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do. What pace is this that they tongues keep? Not a false gallop.
What would you with me, honest neighbors? Marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly. Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me. Marry, this is it, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends? A good man verges, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as, God help, I would desire they were, but, in faith, honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living that is an old man, and no honester than I.
Neighbors, you are tedious. Oh, it pleases your worship to say so, but we are the poor duke's officers. But truly, for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all on your worship. All thy tediousness on me, eh? Oh yeah, and 'twere 1,000 pound more than 'tis, for I hear as good exclamation on your worship as of any man in the city, and though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Marry, sir, our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, has taken a couple of as errant knaves as any in Messina.
I must leave you. One word, sir, our watch, sir, have indeed comprehended 2 auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined before your worship. Take their examination yourself and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you. It shall be sufficient. Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
My lord, they say for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I'll wait upon them. I am ready. Go, good partner. We are now to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
Come, Friar Francis, be brief, only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount their particular duties afterwards. You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady? No. To be married to her, friar. You come to marry her? Lady, you come hither to be married to this count? I do. If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, charge you on your souls to utter it. Know you any, hero? None, my lord. Know you any, count? I dare make his answer none. Oh, what men do, what men may do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do! How now? Interjections? Why then some be of laughing as a ha-ha? Stand thee by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter? As freely, son, as God did give her me. And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift? Nothing.
Unless you render her again.
Hath no man's dare to hear a point from me.
Why, hell now, cousin. Wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother her spirit up.
How doth the lady? Dad, I think. Help. Uncle. Hero. Why, Hero. Uncle. Senor Benedict. Fire.
O fate, take not thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest comfort for her shame that may be wished for.
How now, cousin Hero?
Have comfort, lady.
Must thou look up?
Wherefore should she not?
Why? Doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, Hero. Do not ope thine eyes. Oh, she has fallen into a pit of ink, that the wide sea had dropped too few wash her clean again, and salt too little which may season her foul-tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder. I know not what to say.
Oh my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
Truly not. Although, until last night, I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed. Confirmed.
Oh, that is stronger made, which was before parted with ribs of iron. Would the two princes lie, and Claudio lie, who loved her so, that, speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears. Hence from her, let her die.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace that she hath left is that she will not add to her damnation. A sin of perjury she not denies it. Why seekest thou then to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness? Lady, what man is he you are accused of? They know that do accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, that all my sins lack mercy. O my father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature, refuse me, hate me, torture me to death. There is some strange misprison in the princess. Two of them have the very bent of honor, and if their wisdom he be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the bastard, whose spirits toil and frame of villainies. Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here, the princess left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that appertain unto a burial. What shall become of this? What will this do? Mary, this well carried shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good. She dying, as it must so be maintained, upon the instant that she was accused shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. So will it fare with Claudio, when he shall hear that she died upon his words. The idea of her life shall sweetly creep into a study of imagination, than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her. Signor Leonato, let the friar advise you, and though you know my inwardness, and love is very much unto the prince and Claudio, yet by mine honor I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body. Being that I've flown grief, the smallest twine may lead me. 'Tis well consented. Presently away. Come, lady, die to live this wedding day. Perhaps it is, but prolong it. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while? Yea,
and I will weep a while longer. I will not desire that. You have no reason. I do it freely. Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged. Ah, how much a man might deserve of me that he would right her. Is there any way to show such friendship? A very even way, but no such friend. May a man do it? It's a man's office, but not yours. I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is that strange? As strange as a thing I know not. If it were possible for me to say I loved nothing so well as you, but believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I'm sorry for my cousin. By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me. Do not swear, and eat it. I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you. Will you not eat your word? With no sauce that can be devised to do it, I protest I love thee. Why, then? God forgive me. What offense, sweet Beatrice? You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you. And do it with all thy heart. I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest. Come, bid me do anything for thee. Kill Claudio. Ha! Not for all the world. You kill me to deny it. Farewell. Tarry, sweet Beatrice. I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you, let me go. Beatrice, in faith, I will go. We'll be friends first. You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy? Is Claudio thine enemy? Is he not approved in the height of villain that have slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man, what bear in her heart until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor, and, oh God, that I were a man, I would eat his heart in the marketplace. Hear me, Beatrice. Talk with a man out of window, a proper saying. Hear me, Beatrice. Nay, but Beatrice, sweet hero, she is wronged, she is slandered, she is undone. Oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend who would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into courtesies, valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongue and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules, that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing, therefore I will die a woman with grieving. Tarry, good Beatrice, by his hand, I love thee. Use it for my love some other way than by swearing to it. Think in you your soul, Count Claudio hath wronged Hero? Yea, as sure as I have thought or a soul. Enough, I am engaged. I will kiss your hand. And so I leave you. By this hand Claudio shall render my dear account, as you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say, he is dead, and so farewell.
I thought they must best start praying. The way he looked at me? Nah. You get me, Holmes, right? ¿Y qué más dijo? Flaca, que ese Don John recibió muchos ranflas echando mentiras de Hero. Ay, no manches. He's so hundiado. Yo sé, ¿verdad? Like, what happened next? ¿Sabes qué? Ese flaco Claudio was going to leave his chavita on the aisle. I know, right? Embarrassing. If that vato even starts fooling these laws, la clica will handle it. Don't worry, chicas. ¿Y hay más? No, that's it. Pues, deja ese vato. Hey, Don John en la mañana se fue de su pad, pero like how Holmes said, they told Hero las mentiras y se murió right there and then. Right? Oh my god. Hey, I told you already, tie these vatos up. Then bring them to Lenatos. I'll be there first and then I'll tell them what happened. You are la chica, let's tie them up. Déjalos aquí en las manos. Hey, get off of me, fool! Don't touch me! Ya se fue la chavita, pero que she needs to be here to be writing down what's happening. Hey, Masudo, keep tying me up. Hey, get away from me, you odiado, odiado.
See, here comes the man we went to seek. Now, senor, what news? Good day, my lord. Welcome, senor. You are almost come to part, almost a fray. We are like to have had our 2 roses snapped off with 2 old men without teeth.
Leona and his brother? What thinkest thou? Had we fought? I doubt we have been too young for them. In a false quarrel there is no true valor. I came to seek ye both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof men Charlie, and in vain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it? Dost wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so. Thou very many have been beside their wit. I will bid thee thy draw, as we do the minstrels. Draw to pleasure us.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
What courage, man! What thou care killed a cat, thou hast mettle enough indeed to kill care.
Sir, I shall meet your wit in my career, and you charge it against me. I pray you choose another subject.
Then give him another staff. This last was broke cross.
By this light, he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
If he be, he knows how to turn his girdle.
Shall I speak in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good. How dare you? With what you dare and when you dare. Do me right, and I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which God be thanked hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother the man is fled from Manessa. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Blackbeard there, he and I shall meet. Until then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest. In most profound earnest, and I'll warrant you, for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee?
Most sincerely.
But soft you, let me be. Pluck up my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother has fled?
Come you, sir, justice cannot tame you. She shall near weigh more reasons in her balance. Nay, and you be a cursed hypocrite once you must be looked to.
How dare 2 of my brother's men bound the Barocchio one? Hearken after their offense, my lord. Officers, what offense have these men done?
They have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruth. Secondarily, they are slandered. 6th and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly I ask thee what's their offense. 6th and lastly, why they are committed. And to conclude, what you lay to their charge.
my troth, there's one meaning well suited.
Who have you offended, masters, that you are thus bound to your answer? This word, Constable, is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. Do you hear me? And let this count kill me. I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdom could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your brother, has seized me to slander the lady hero. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in hero's garments, how you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I had rather seal with my death, than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusations, and briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison while he'd uttered it.
But did my brother set thee unto this?
For the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Sweet hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance, and I loved it first. Come, bring away the plaintiff. By this time our sexton hath deformed Signor Leonato of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify when time and place shall serve that I am an ass.
Lol! Here comes Master Samuel Leonato and the sexton too, lol!
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I note another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he? If you would know your wronger, look on him. Art thou the slave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child? Even I alone. No, not so, villain. Thou believest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third is fled, that had a hand in it. I thank you, princess, for my daughter's death. Recorded with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it. I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invitation can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned, not but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor one, and yet to satisfy this good old man, I would bend under any heavy weight, that he'll enjoin me too.
I cannot bid you my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both, come possess the people in Messina here. And if your love can labor aught in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb, and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow, come you to my house, and since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost the copy of my child that's dead. And she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge. Oh, noble sir, your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer, and dispose, for henceforth, of poor Claudio. No, by my soul, she was not. Nor knew not what she did when she spoke to me, but always hath been just and virtuous in anything that I do know by her. Moreover, sir, which indeed is not under white and black, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment. And also, the watch heard them talk of one deformed. They say he wears a key in his ear and a lock hanging by it, and borrows money in God's name, the which he hath used so long and never paid, that now men grow hard-hearted and will end nothing for God's sake. Pray you examine him upon that point. I thank thee for thy care and honest pains. Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverend youth, and I praise God for you. There's for thy pains. God save the foundation. Go, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee. I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself. Come, neighbor. Until tomorrow morning, lords. Farewell. Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow. We will not fail. Tonight, I'll mourn with Hero.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think. To do what, senor? To bind me? Or undo me? One of those. Senor Leonardo, truth it is. Good senor, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
Oh, that I my daughter lent her. 'Tis most true.
And I do, with an eye of love, requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio and the prince. But what is your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical, but for my will is your good will. May stand with ours this day to be conjoined in the state of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I will need your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here come the prince and Claudio. Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Oh, good morrow, prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter?
Yes, sir.
Call her forth, brother. The friar's ready.
Good morrow, Benedict. Why, what's the matter that you have such a February face? So full of frost, of storm and cloudiness. Here comes other reckonings. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
The same is she, and I do give you her.
Why, then she is mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not, till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this holy friar, I am your husband, if you like of me. When I lived, I was your other wife. When you loved, you were my other husband. Another hero! Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live, and surely as I live, I am a maid. The former hero, the hero that is dead!
She died, my lord, but whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify, when after the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely a fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently. Soft and fair, friar, which is Beatrice? I answer to that name. What is your will? Do not you love me? Why, no more than reason. Why, then your uncle and the prince and Claudio must have been deceived. They swore you did. Do not you love me? Troth, no more than reason. Why, then my cousin Margaret and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did. They swore you were almost sick for me. They swore that you were well nigh dead for me. 'Tis no such matter. Then, you do not love me? No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Oh, come, cousin, I'm sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon that he loves her. For here's a paper written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice. And here's another, writ in my cousin's hand stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedict. Oh, a miracle! Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this side I take thee for pity. I will not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption. Peace! I will stop your mouth.
Finally.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man? I tell thee what, Prince, a college of witcrackers cannot flout me out of my humor. Dost thou think I care for a satire or epigram? No. If a man will be beaten with brains, he shall wear nothing handsome about him. And brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world will say against it. And therefore never flout at me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but thou art like to be my kinsman. Live unbruised and love my cousin. I had well hoped thou would have denied, Beatrice, that I might have cudgelled thee out of thy single life to make thee a double dealer, which out of question thou wilt be, if my cousin do not look exceedingly narrow to thee. Oh, come, we are friends. Let's have a dance ere we are married. We may lighten our own hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterward.
First of my word, therefore play music. Prince, thou art sad? Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife. There's no staff more reverend than one tipped with horn.
My lord, your brother John is taken in flight and brought with armed men back in Messina.
Think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise thee brave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers!